Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Get Lost. This is Ria. Hello, here we have Vinci with us as well.
Hi.
What's up,
Hi,
Vinci?
Ria. What's up? What's up? It's pretty good. Very excited to be here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's we've like been getting messages about how we are still roaming all the way only in the Northeast. But I guess that's because, guys, it's a pretty beautiful place, and I think overall India itself is so beautiful. I think you're gonna like take ages to complete each and every part. And the way Vinci is taking us, giving us those detailed trip, I think we can go on and on, but do not worry. We are going to look at various other places as well. But today, we are going to be somewhere around Northeast again. And of course, you guys know the most popular names of these. But let me introduce you to the more uncommon names, I guess. If correct me if I'm wrong, Vinci. It's
Yes.
Yoda and Sora, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually what is Yoda, Vinci?
So it is Shillong and Sora is Cherrapunjni. So those are the local
So
names what Khasi tribal people call them. Yeah.
lovely. So today we are going to Yoda and Sora, and which is Shillong and Cherrapunjni. You know what, Vinci? I always thought Cherrapunjni. I don't know why the name is pretty. I thought it was somewhere in the south.
Oh.
It's just bad geography, and
But I'm sure
totally not the right thing to tell.
you must have read in school for the highest rainfall. So this is the place that gets the
Yeah,
highest rainfall.
yeah, but the truth is nobody studies.
Oh.
So it was
Yeah.
always just assumptions in the head. But yeah, finally now that we are doing real trips, and thanks to Let's Get Lost, this
Yeah.
I cleared it today that it's in the Northeast. Okay, guys, don't judge me for my education. It's pretty good, except the geography part. But yes, Vinci, tell us,
Yeah.
like, I'm sure people are already planning trips. Things are opening up.
Yeah,
People are
things
going
are opening.
international, rather.
Yeah, things are opening
Yeah.
up, and what I get to hear is Northeast is still pretty much open for people to travel. They have
Wow.
opened up areas, but quarantine they still maintain some strict rules. So you can travel to
Okay.
that place following certain rules and be sensible yourself also when you travel. That's what I feel.
Absolutely.
Everyone should take their own responsibility. So even the villages on the other side are also safer when you travel to them, when you meet them.
Right.
So that is moral
Right.
responsibility that we should take as travelers. But as having said that,
Right.
Shillong and Cherrapunjni one of the best places to travel now. Perfect weather. Shillong is known as the
Wow.
Scotland of the East, and because of the stunning beauty, the Britishers went there and they felt this is like a Scotland, and they named Shillong as the Scotland of the East. So it's a fabulous place to be, guys.
So yeah, so trip to Shillong next.
Yeah.
So we've actually covered Tawang, we've covered Zero, and this time it's another two parts of the Northeast itself. So I guess after a month of this, if somebody is planning a trip long for a month or two, they completely have a list of things to do, right?
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
what about Vinci? How now? Beginning with Shillong or Cherrapunjni, how is it? Kind of give us a clarity in where do we start with, what is
All
the
right.
route and all of that.
Yes. So before I just share how does it look? So let me check. This is one of the places that you'll see if you go there. You can see this image. It'll tell you
Yes,
exactly
wow.
where it is. It's stunning. You come at the edge of the hill literally and see the clouds there. Then you can see this is the historic place. It's also World Heritage Site. It's called the double-decker route bridge. This is actually made up of routes. So we're going to talk to you how to
Wow.
reach here and what can we do there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can
So
people
yeah, you can walk on that.
does anybody,
You can walk on
what,
that. Yeah.
really?
Yeah, but they don't allow too many people to walk one at a time because when tourists go there, they just
Obviously.
create a ruckus out there. Everybody wants to jump on the route. I don't know, they just go mad. So local people just control them. It's just a route to cross over, guys. And actually, people have created it. So there's a Khasi tribe, and
Oh,
the route. So they have taken and painfully, put the routes together to form a bridge like this.
right. Wow.
This is
Wow.
one of the most exciting thing you can see there. Yeah. So
Wow. Yes.
going to Shillong. Now, Shillong will go first. again, the entry route to Northeast is definitely Guwahati. You land in Guwahati. From there you take a cab. And this time, unlike other Northeast parts, Shillong roads are stunningly beautiful. So you can see the roads, right? This is how the roads look like. You can drive at good pace, but I suggest wheel control. You can cover longer distance in shorter time compared to other regions, other parts of Northeast. So a lot of people go to Shillong and Cherrapunjni because connectivity is much better. Shillong is the capital of Meghalaya. So this is a very, very beautiful place. Now, interestingly, Meghalaya actually means abode of clouds. When you go there, there are plenty of clouds, there are plenty of rainfall. It's just a beautiful, clean place to be. Everybody, like even the people are very interestingly and nice. The Khasi tribe has a major role to play in this. And I will touch upon it at a later stage as to why Khasi tribe is so important and the culture that they have, how they help it structure the entire ecosystem over there. So I'm going to, it's going to be very interesting that we're going to touch upon when it comes to cultural part of it. So reaching Shillong, yeah, you get out at Guwahati, drive down to Shillong. So it's again 2 to 3 hours drive. So pretty pleasant. By the time you're 4 o'clock, you'll reach Shillong. So normally all the flights, as I say, land in Guwahati by noon. I really try to land by noon so that you can take your drive from, and it's a beautiful drive. It's a very scenic route. You can stop on the ways, look at some waterfalls, get your dinner, get your lunch over there on the way, get chai. And by the time you reach Shillong, it's pleasantly 4 or 5. Ensure that you reach by 4 or 5. Nice weather, and check into your hotel. That's it. And evening, just try to get out and go around, figure out the local market, police bazaar, and spend a nice quiet day. Yeah. That's
wow. You'd also mentioned about this being, the route. I think Northeast has the best. This place is the best roads, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you mentioned.
Yeah.
In the entire Northeast. So I think even if they're traveling by car and the on road sort of a touring, then I think it's going to be perfect.
So this is sorry. So I just want to bring in, this is perfect for people who are bikers but don't like the ruggedness of biking. In the sense, when you talk to bikers, somebody wants to go through muck and completely offbeat biking. So here the beauty is you get to see offbeat locations, but the roads are very good. So you can bike peacefully and just keep looking around, the nature, enjoy nature. What happens when you're doing offbeat? Like for example, if you're traveling to Tawang area, which you spoke, the roads are not like this. The roads are, they have craters on the road. There is a muddy road, mucky road. So what happens? You have to focus on the road.
Also, what we saw.
Yeah, so you have to focus on the road all the time. So you miss out on the beauty of the nature around you as a rider. So in this case, what happens is you can actually look at the nature, enjoy, stop the bike, and there's ample lot of time. Be careful while riding, but still, the roads are so good, you can absolutely do that. Yeah.
And it was pretty empty. I think there aren't any traffics on such roads.
Yeah, there are not many. Sometimes you get in the Shillong city type area, town area, but otherwise it's pretty much okay.
So now from Guwahati, what comes first? It's Shillong first, and Shillong then there is Cherrapunjni.
Yeah, Shillong comes, and another 2 to 3 hours. So if you drive straight from Guwahati to Shillong, also you can go. It's around 4 to 5 hours drive, but you can split it. Go to Shillong first, chill there, then go to Cherrapunjni.
Okay, so Shillong to Cherrapunjni is another
2 to 3 hours drive.
2 to 3 hours, and Guwahati to Shillong is another.
3 hours drive.
3 hours drive. So that's pretty. So you're saying that if you are anyway, we plan to go to Shillong, we might as well extend and have Cherrapunjni done as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, Vinci, these places will be pretty far or maybe different from Zero and Tawang, right?
Yes.
Like
of course.
The distance will be way more.
Yeah.
Right. So even if it's in Northeast, guys, it's not like you can do Tawang, Zero, and Shillong and Cherrapunjni.
You can actually, if you plan it properly, you can do Tawang and Shillong and Cherrapunjni. You can do together, but you need more number of days. From Tawang, you can come back and you can head to Kaziranga, and from Kaziranga you can come to. So you can take a break at Kaziranga. From Kaziranga, you can come to Shillong. So you can split it that way also.
Okay. So yeah, probably at least 3 of them is something you can do at one go within a matter of few days. Yeah. Right. And then I also assume that, but I will still ask you, what about the permissions for everybody who's joined us, now and have not seen our previous lives?
Yeah. So luckily for this state, Meghalaya doesn't need permission. But you
Okay.
need to carry your ID proof because if at all they ask something, again, if you're checking to hotel or even homestays, you have to, give your ID proof. So you have to carry your ID proof
Okay.
for sure, but there's no permission required.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And okay, so you travel by train or however, plane or whatever, and then what
Yeah.
about plane travelers?
Uh, so
Where do
Shil-
they?
so by flight, Shillong has an airport, but it's not that well connected. So very the flights are not that many over there. So I would suggest you go to Guwahati, only land in Guwahati. Train also you come
Okay,
to Guwahati, and from Guwahati
okay.
you have to take. There's no rail connectivity over there.
Right. Coming to, of course, the travel is pretty sorted, like you've mentioned. It's recommended that we do train rather
Yeah,
than plane
yeah.
or any car route. And now coming to the stay part. So, in the previous sessions, we learned how there were homestays most preferred
Yeah.
because there wasn't, like, Zero did not really have much of space. I mean, those commercial. What
Yeah.
about Shillong?
Shillong has plenty of
How's
hotels, so there is no issue.
okay.
A lot of people do visit Shillong because it is one of the hill station kind of a thing. Since it's Scotland of East, so people like to. A lot of people from Calcutta travel there because it's a short distance for
Right,
them. It's a train
right.
journey to Guwahati, and from there they can drive down. So it is
Oh,
people do travel to Shillong. So there are plenty of hotels. There are 2-star, 3-star, 5-star hotels available. But if during
okay.
season time, I suggest you book the hotels well in advance. There are homestays also available.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are campsites if you go to Cherrapunjni side. But what happens is most of the people prefer to stay in Shillong. Very few go to Shillong, Cherrapunjni. So
Cherrapunjni.
yeah, so if you're
Okay.
traveling there, might as well
Why?
explore some other places. So people who go to Shillong, they look at it as hill station. There's a short, so they let's say people from Calcutta go is just for or a weekend or 3 days trip they do. So
Right.
Shillong itself you can spend 3 days. So go to
Okay.
Cherrapunjni and additional days. You need at least 7 days properly to cover Shillong and Cherrapunjni together.
Around 7 days.
7 days approximately, yeah.
Put 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So when we go to Shillong now, let's Vincy, give them a understanding of what is it apart from what normal people anyway look at. Like maybe they just travel to those famous spots. But by the way, have you been there, right?
Yeah, I've been
Or
there for sure. Yeah, I've been there.
yeah.
So I keep going to
Okay.
Northeast a lot. So Shillong, yeah, is one of my favorite places to go. Yeah.
Wow. I love your job, Vincy. Just get to travel. All right. So let's dig into now, what people can do and whatever you want to suggest them when it comes to Shillong.
Yeah. So Shillong, so I'm not going to talk about the normal stuff that people do there because it's normally you go to
Absolutely.
Shillong, there is, there are cafes and all which you can check it out. That's not a problem. There's a bazaar, some small market and all. But what I would like people to
Right.
go and do it, first thing, there is a sacred forest. Yeah. Let's see if we get to, yeah. So this part, if you see, is actually sacred forest. It is also known as forest of gods, where gods reside. Okay, if you can see
Oh,
this
okay.
picture, the story goes that if you see the trees around, if you can see there are trees, and after the trees there's a green patch, right? They say the green patch
Yeah.
is like a veranda of gods. No trees grow here. Okay, this is very surprisingly.
Okay.
So I was told this story. No trees grow on this part where the green patch is there, and the god's houses, they reside in the forest till where the trees are, and they come out to play if they want to play. It's like a veranda of your house. That's how they
Oh,
look at it. Another very interesting story
wow.
about it is you cannot take anything from this forest, not even a single leaf or anything out. I don't know whether
Really?
it's a story created to protect the forest or it is actually happens. I'm not sure about it. I didn't dare to take anything after listening to the stories. They say if you take anything
Okay.
out of this forest, either you'll fall sick, which can eventually lead to your death.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah. So this is how it looks like.
So this
So
you're saying is the barren
yeah,
or
barren
the
part of it.
veranda is
Yeah,
what they.
correct.
This is
Absolutely,
the
the
veranda, and that is
veranda.
where
Yeah,
they live.
live. Yeah. So even in fact,
Okay.
there is a story that once an Indian army wanted to take some logs from there, and they just couldn't take it out. The trucks wouldn't start, nothing, and then the villagers went and said, "You cannot take it out, anything out from here." Then
Oh.
so these are the stories I've heard, and I'm sure it must be some reason why they must have been saying the story. They apparently say there is, there is a goddess who protects this place, and the goddess takes.
Wow.
There's a deity that takes form of a, what do you call, a cheetah. It's called Labasa, and this cheetah protects the people and also the forest.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they believe truly. It's very interesting
Wow,
how
that's
it's a fabulous story over there. Yeah.
yeah. But the way with the conviction that they're saying all this, I'm sure like there is some sort of belief, or there is, we don't know, like when
Oh,
it
there
comes
is.
to these different
Yeah.
places.
And they warn you very well, much in advance. Don't take anything. I mean, even if you want to take a leaf, be careful about it.
Mhm.
Then once you enter the
Ah,
forest, you see these places. This is a place of sacrifice. So they sacrifice
okay.
chicken, goat, or something like that for the to appease the gods who are there. So
Okay.
so you can, and there are these are called monoliths. There are quite a few like this. 2, 3 are there when you can go and check it out. And so this is how the forest looks. You
Wow.
can do a
This
trek in
is,
the forest. It's beautiful.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
something like this since long.
yeah.
So
So
used to just seeing the walls now.
yeah, true.
So, the greenery was like to the eyes, like, oh my God,
Correct.
this is heaven.
I'm missing it big time. Like if nothing else, if I'm in Bombay, I just take off and go for treks, even if I'm alone and if nothing much
Right.
is happening, because I like to be in nature, and it has a calming and
Of
healing,
course.
vibe to it. So I just go on the nature.
Yeah.
So this is what I recommend people to go there. There is a very interesting trek also you can do through this, and you can come out on the other
Okay.
side. The other thing I recommend people to do is do a David Scott trek. It's a trek for
David Scott
around
trek.
David Scott. It is hardly a 16-kilometer treks, and it will take you 4 to 5 hours. It's not that big. And it's very
Okay.
moderate. You don't need to be ultra fit or something, but but you need to walk for 4 to 5 hours. But the walk is very
Right.
beautiful, very pleasant. You will be crossing a lot of, rivers. There will be a river and beautiful landscape to look at. There will be bridges. I'm just going to show you one picture
Wow.
of how it looks when you
Mhm. So
cross.
you're saying like these treks are something that people go there and then they plan it, or people specifically go for these treks only, like,
So
what would be easier?
this is a one-day trek. So once you're there, you can just plan it and go. But already
Ah, okay.
keep a day for a trek, because the whole day goes in. This morning you go to one end and then you trek to the other side. You can get your
But we
vehicle.
don't
Yeah, sorry.
we don't need any guide or anybody to, like help you out that where you
So
heading in the
ideally,
jungle.
ideally you don't need a guide. It's pretty much the trek is pretty much defined. But to be on a safer side,
Okay.
if you're slightly scared, carry a guide
Mhm.
with you. Take a guide with you. He will be helping you,
Right.
and he can tell you some spots in case you're scared of getting lost or something. But it should not be
Right.
a problem. But
Right.
so this is
Okay.
how the trek is, and this is the bridge that you cross from one end to the other. It's a beautiful bridge, and some people do get scared while crossing this also. It is sometimes if you're not
Okay.
used to heights, what happens is water is flowing under you, and
Yeah.
people having vertigo should be careful, because your head
Yes.
tends to spin around a bit.
Yeah. No, this
Yeah,
looks
then
already scary to me.
no, it's not at all scary, but this is the other thing you can see. Yeah,
What was that one? Is that
I'll
like a
come to
canal
that.
that?
Yeah, no, this is
Okay,
the trek
sure.
that gets over. And the other thing is this one I want you to go is the Lithium Canyon. This is how it looks when you reach this place. So this is another beautiful place
Okay.
you should not miss out on. This is like, when as a child you're asked to draw mountains and rivers, you will end up drawing like this most of the time.
Hmm.
People know there's a beautiful
Yeah.
river flowing, and this is exactly what it sees. This is how it looks from the end. And I'm not kidding. You go
Wow.
there, you see this actually.
Wow.
But in monsoon, I don't recommend going here, because monsoon you can't see anything. It's completely raining all the time and full of water. But October, November, December, Jan, that's a beautiful time to go to these places. And
Right.
this is So this is something
This
that
looks
it's stunning place. You should just be there to believe it. You know,
absolutely.
not
Also, but I think, yeah, these places are majorly known for sceneries, right? Of course,
sceneries.
like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
go there, they just want to watch maybe just the weather and go to sleep.
Actually, you go there, the weather is very pleasant, but you don't get tired. The weather is good. There enough oxygen levels are pretty high there, especially when you're
Right.
going from cities like Bombay, Delhi, or something. The
Mm-hmm.
oxygen levels are so high that you feel energized. You keep walking the whole day. You don't get tired. And I used to wonder, there's a difference when you walk around in cities and when you walk there. The
Right.
weather is so beautiful. The food is so good. It just feels that you're in a happy place. And when you see such sceneries, now lithium literally means the end of hills. It literally means the
Right.
end of the hills. When you go to the edge, you feel the hills are getting over and there's another set of things starting. So it's a nice experience to have. And photographers and trekkers should not miss it because it's a visual delight.
Right.
And
Right.
the next thing that I suggest people to look at is the Khasi Heritage Village. It's a village there itself in Shillong. It's a small thing
Okay.
that is put up where Mr. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister, had gone and addressed. If you would have seen his videos of in
Mm-hmm.
Shillong, he was presenting to Khasi people. He was talking to Khasi people from that village area. So you can go and
Right.
see that village. That's fine. The other interesting thing you should look at is the Asia's cleanest village.
Mm-hmm.
So it is Asia's cleanest.
Asia's cleanest village.
Yeah, it's called Maflong, and
Not long. Okay.
you can actually stay there for a night. So I'll just. So this are the villages. Yeah, very beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Nothing, and they take pride in doing it. So entire. So what happens in Meghalaya overall? They have a competition whose village is the cleanest. So that's what I mean.
Oh, that's
Yeah. So
nice.
they take pride. They have dustbins everywhere and eco-friendly dustbins. Huh? And they will tell you
Okay.
if you put anything down on the street or anywhere, they will pick it up and put in the dustbin. So you feel really bad about it. Why do you do this?
That's another guilty trip.
Yeah, guilty trip they put you to. I just love the way they treat you,
Wow.
and they take pride. Every village there is a competition, so everyone has to keep the village clean. I feel that that
So
culture should percolate everywhere, so that would be much
what
better.
what
Yeah,
kind of a competition is this? Is it like done by the people themselves
yeah,
decide,
yeah.
or is it like a government thing, that
No,
we're
it's
going
by the
to
people.
address?
The panchayat, the tribe keeps the competition
Uh-huh.
among themselves. Yeah, it's not the government doesn't intervene.
And this is
They
throughout the
themselves,
year, is it?
yeah. Throughout the year, you have to keep it clean. So which is the
Wow.
cleanest village? So that's how
That's,
they play this game. And
but
you
that's a
can stay
great,
in this
and
village. Yeah,
this one.
yeah, you can stay in
Okay.
Norfolk one day, one night you can spend here, but don't expect anything like morning bed tea and all. You don't get. You, it's a nice place. Go stay there, enjoy how it goes. Look at the evening, and
So,
once you're here,
huh.
sorry, I just want to say this. There is a village Rivia, and there is a single route bridge here. So again, there are
Single
many
route.
route. Yeah, there's a single route bridge where we initially
The
discussed
one you
about the
showed earlier was double, right?
double. Yeah, so this is single.
Okay. Okay.
So this is closer to
Nice.
the village that we're just talking about. Yeah.
So you're saying that this is like a regular, route bridge which people use like daily, or is it more like, you come, see, and go?
No,
Because it doesn't look like somebody can
now
use
they
it
are not using
regularly.
it. Yeah, now they are not using it regularly. So it's now for mostly tourist attraction. Villages are
Right.
there, but it's mostly for tourists. You go there and see that. That's about it. They don't use
Right.
it as
Yeah.
much. They're
Sounds
protecting
better
it.
now.
Rather there is a person sitting close to the bridge just to ensure that tourists are not jumping on it. Like only one
Right.
person is allowed
Absolutely.
at one time to cross over if they feel like. That's how it is. They're maintaining
True.
it very well. That's what I love about it. They are
Right.
ensuring that everything is beautiful.
Right. So this is overall, Shillong is like you can go to these smaller places which are not really very famous guides, and these apart from scenery, there are
Yeah.
these sort of if you're like more of a plant lover, then these destinations are also for you. What about the food, Vinci? Like again, it's a very commercialized place. Everybody goes to Shillong, and so but
Yeah, food is
is
pretty
there
good. So there is a veg. Of course, they eat a lot of non-veg food. They eat a lot of pork and other meat. But you
Mhm.
get a lot of rice. Is a staple diet there. So food is
Okay.
not a problem at all. So all the food
Huh.
lovers, yeah, they can actually enjoy pretty good food. Like there is
What
this food
about,
called.
yeah.
Sorry, I just want to. There's a combination. They call something known as jado. This is red rice cooked with ample amounts of pork meat, which is very tasty. But in case if people don't like pork, you can also get it cooked with chicken or fish,
Okay.
and it is just awesome to taste. Like that was the first thing I had once I went there. So I still remember that the first meal, the local food I had. Then there is another one
Right.
which is a salad mixed again salad of minced pork, onions, and chilies. And there
Okay.
is something I'm going to say. People, if they don't like it, it's like they also make it with a pig brain. There is something, some one dish they make with pig brain, which they eat with bread. It is quite tasty, but people might not. Some people get grossed out by pig brain as such, so they can avoid that. The other interesting is, of course, they have this rice beer, and you should try out the rice
Right.
beer. That's pretty good.
I think a lot of these, not all the places we spoke about had rice beer like a very common
Yeah,
thing, right?
it's a common thing in
It's
Northeast. Rice
quite
beer is pretty much common. Yeah. There is other interesting
right.
place to check out. I'll just tell you. I'll just show you that.
By now, guys, I'm sure whoever watches us knows that Vinci is a hardcore non-vegetarian
Yeah.
lover.
Oh, I love to try all kind of meat. I think.
I've never heard him talking about any normal food, which is great though, not a problem.
So non-veg, like I'll tell you one story. We ate once crocodile meat, so that was something interesting we ate. So not in India, but yeah.
Okay.
So this is the
Right.
other place I want you to go and visit. It's called Davki. Here, actually,
Okay.
you'll see the boats are floating. How cool is this? Like,
Floating.
it's actually on the water, but you can see
Yeah.
the bed.
It looks
So you
like such a
feel,
photoshopped image,
yeah.
but I'm sure it's real.
It's real. It's real. Like you
Wow.
see this, right? It's real. You can see the base of the river.
Wow.
So this is very beautiful. You should visit this place. In monsoons, you can't see it like this because in monsoon the mud and all gets into the water and it becomes mucky, so you cannot see the water. There's no clarity. But during this season, like October, November, December, it's pretty clear. The crystal clear water, you can see everything till the end. And take a boat ride here.
Wow.
It's actually very nice too.
You've done this?
Yeah, I've done this, and it's
And
just
you're
an
literally
experience.
floating, is it?
It's
Not
on water. You're floating on water. When you take a shot, you feel that the boat is floating anyways.
yeah.
And
Okay, but I'm sure people don't swim and all here, right?
yeah, people do swim.
Or
Yeah,
do
people
they?
do swim. The other end of this is
Okay.
Bangladesh border. Now, this is interestingly, Davki River is there, and the other end is Bangladesh, and this end is India.
Okay, so this is the common. So even they
Yeah,
call it there. So it's also
yeah.
something they share with us. I mean,
They
they
share
can.
it. They
We
share
also
with
find
us. Yeah,
people.
we can see houses on that side, people on the other side of the
Okay.
bank, and
Okay,
it's a
but
normal
then.
practice for them to do business together. Unofficially, of
Oh,
course, they
okay.
cross over and do it like this.
Oh, that's a good route. So we can also you can be like again,
No,
of
you
course,
cannot. You
unofficially.
cannot go without.
No.
From Dauki, it's a 10 minutes drive. You get to Bangladesh border. So there is a normal border
Oh,
where army is there. You can go there and exchange, shake hands with them, get pictures, click
right.
in no man's land. There's a no man's land. You
Wow.
can go get a picture click. So
Wow.
that is pretty close to this
Wow.
place. Yeah,
That's really nice. Like things that you go to Shillong and you touch Bangladesh and come.
Bangladesh. Yeah, you can say I visited one more country. Yeah.
No, that's nice.
Yeah. So this is.
So yeah.
hmm.
So food you've told us about. You've told us about this boating thing that looks really exciting.
Yeah.
And of course touching Bangladesh. And of course people if are in the mood they can also dive into the thinking of it like a pool. But Vinci, how are the people there? Of course, like in terms of people, what I mean is the culture and all. I'm sure they are welcoming because
So they
there are
are
tons of
welcoming
tourists.
people. So Shillong and Cherrapunjni both has Khasi tribe, both the places. Now something very interesting is a matriarchal society. That's why I said this is very
Okay.
interesting part about their culture. When there the girl takes the family takes the name of the girl, mother's name, not
Okay.
father's name. It's a mother's name that is
Oh,
carried
okay.
forward. If a guy gets married, the guy goes to the girl's house. It's the other way around completely.
Whoa, 1 second. What? Just repeat.
So if you marry a Khasi girl, You go to their house to live. It's not the girl who comes to the guy's house. The guy goes to the girl's house. Okay, and they take their girl's
This is
name.
true.
Yes, and they're so well defined, and I think that's why it is so progressive in their thinking also, because women dominate their everything.
Wow.
So mother is
This
the
is really
caretaker
like,
of the house. And
okay,
something interesting,
okay.
if the youngest daughter of the family gets the property, the house where they're living,
Okay.
the youngest daughter. The others, of course, they get a share of the property, and all the other daughters will get. But the youngest daughter gets the property to stay, and the others have to figure out their house nearby or wherever they have to get out of the house and figure that. So that's how it is worked out. So while we are there, I think I should also show you what happens in Cherrapunjni. We haven't touched Cherrapunjni as such.
Yes, yes, yes. No, so that's what, there were like so many things in Shillong. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Because this is what I wanted to show. So double decker, why I'm showing again is you can do a trek to double decker bridge. You have to trek it. There's no vehicle that goes there. So it's so I suggest once you finish your trip in Shillong, stay in the Northland village. Next day, get up and go to Cherrapunjni. Spend the day in Cherrapunjni, chill, and then the morning, next morning, go to double decker trek. Almost half a day goes in this. It's quite a good trek. Very interesting. And do at your own pace, I suggest. Don't hurry on the trek. Carry enough water.
Right.
Yeah. So once you get there, enjoy the view, click photographs. You can also get local food. On the way, there are local food, localites who serve food. You can go to their houses and eat. So this is pretty good. Then this is the other called Nokila Falls. This actually, at the base of this, you can see rainbow forming. In the picture, I could capture it, but actually, you can see rainbow happening here because of the water reflection.
Wow.
This again is.
And is it like only sometimes, or
no?
Like
almost
always like that.
Always whenever you go there. And this is the Seven Sister Fall, the most popular falls in Northeast. These are the seven sister falls. So seven sister means Northeast has 7 sisters, 7 states. So they call it the Seven Sister Fall. Now Sikkim is also added to Northeast. So just remember that there's the 8th state is Sikkim is added to Northeast.
8th.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the local people, and this is a local dress outfit. When you're in Shillong, there is a place near the Shillong peak where you can dress up like this. So people dress up and click photographs and all those touristy things they do.
Right.
So this is a tribal culture. People.
So pretty.
Yeah. And the other thing that, of course, I like is when you're riding or when you're driving along, on the way you get to see this beautiful structure. So this is a graveyard. It had a story. That's why I stopped. This was unfortunately a family of 4 died together. So they follow Christianity over there. So they decided to. So I went to visit this place. You can see this from the road itself, the 4 crosses. So I stopped my bike and want to inquire what is happening here. So they said, they gave me a story of how they met with an accident, and they decided to bury everyone together. So that's how this 4 crosses. But there's a beautiful graveyard if you're into graveyards and how beautiful it looks. So this is a friend of mine. I made him stand there and shoot this.
Right. Okay.
So you get to see a lot of stuff while driving around. So that's the beauty of that place. Yeah.
Lovely. So so what about Cherrapunjni? I mean, these are some things, of course, we have a story and all. Is there anything more into, because...
So this is Shillong. So Cherrapunjni, so double decker trek you can cover from Shillong and Cherrapunjni, but I suggest you go to Cherrapunjni and then spend a night there. Next day go to double decker trek. Do that. The Seven Sister Falls are in Cherrapunjni. The Nokila Fall is in Cherrapunjni. Yes. So Cherrapunjni has a lot of falls. There are also caves.
Cherrapunjni is a small place, right? It's more of a smaller.
Place. Yeah, it is a small place. Now Cherrapunjni also means the land of oranges. So there are a lot of oranges available there. So it's a good. You can keep eating oranges, but it's like the very desi kind of orange. It's pretty nice, sweet, tasty. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, sounds good. So you're saying a good 2 days, 3 days, 4 days of Shillong, and then 2-3 days of Cherrapunjni.
Cherrapunjni, absolutely. Yeah, it's more than enough.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good plan, actually. 5 days, 7 days, and 2 places.
It's complete bliss when you travel. So besides Shillong main town, otherwise all the places are pretty empty. Not many people are there.
Right. Also, it's not. I'm assuming it's not at all a night place. It's more like calmer.
Yeah, night place in the sense Shillong town has cafes, but they shut by 9 or 11:30, max 11:30. So
Okay.
this place also sunrise is pretty early, like 5 o'clock sunrise
Right.
happens. So that's why people go
Right.
to
So if
sleep
you're
early, they wake up early. Yeah.
Yeah. So if again, if it's very similar to if you're looking at a calm and a simple adventurous trip rather, and not like a party place or a party
Yeah,
trip, then
absolutely.
this
Yeah.
is the place for you. And of course, so many historical things as well to see. Great. So both the places pretty much covered a lot of things. And what about the budget, Vinci? Like, I won't
Again,
ask for one because I believe that,
yeah. So budget
if
again,
somebody is going to Shillong, they will cover Cherrapunji as well. So I would want to ask you
combined.
about both combined. Yeah.
So I think around 30,000 per person should be good enough for 7 to 8 days. Again, it's the same logic of
Okay.
4 people are traveling together. You split your vehicle.
Correct.
Uh, and you can actually
Correct.
do backpacking in this area because the connectivity is pretty good. So there are a lot of vehicles
Okay.
going, like the local transport is also pretty reasonably good. So you can,
Right.
because people from Shillong keep coming to Guwahati for work, so you can get share taxis also if you're doing backpacking. Otherwise, I
Right.
suggest you book a cab so that you have your own comfort of traveling at your pace and getting
Right.
down, stopping, and all. So yeah, that happens. And there are a lot of beautiful things to eat, natural, like you get watermelons on the way, oranges on the way, your corn. So the weather is nice. So there you have cheese Maggies at some places. It's beautiful. When the clouds are there, you're
Wow.
literally, once you're in Cherrapunji area, there are clouds all
Mhm.
around you. Most of the time you're in mist. And then you're eating, imagine hot Maggie. Awesome. Nothing like
Stop, Vinci,
that.
stop. I can't hear all this. I would want to just run. No, but yes. Let's hope soon. Sounds so good. What about do you have any of your stories to tell us? Anything interesting that you kind of came across when you were there?
So yeah, there are quite a few stories. One night we decided. So when you go to Guwahati, there's a Kamakhya temple also. In Guwahati, everybody knows it's a very popular temple. It's one
Okay.
of the Shivling Shiv.
Yeah.
There's a Kamakhya mass. So once you go there, from there one night we
Mhm.
decided to go to Cherrapunji. Like we decided at 7 in the night, let's go to Cherrapunji. We visited Kamakhya in the night, and then we said let's go to Cherrapunji. And that trip was like it's a pitch dark. We were driving that day in pitch dark, and by the time we reached Cherrapunji, we had no clue where we were because we missed the road. So the place we were staying, it started pouring heavily, and it was somehow we evaded death
Right.
that day because the next day the hotel guy said you all went to this place so and so. Luckily there was another car in the localite who stopped us from going ahead, and they stopped us and said you go some other direction. So
Mhm.
we went to some other direction and reached our hotel where we were staying. The next day we visited that place again, and that's when we
Okay.
realized there was a deep valley,
Okay.
almost like like 500 meters from where we were stopped.
It.
So we were
Oh
luckily we saved that
God.
day.
And you're saying
That
it was pitch dark.
pitch dark, nothing. So around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock is pitch
Pitch
dark
dark.
over there. Yeah, there's nothing, and there is no electricity most of the places when you're driving around. So it gets scary at times,
Oh.
but it's quite good fun. And if it starts raining on
Yeah.
top of that, it's even worse. So once you reach Cherrapunji, I
Of
would always
course, I can
suggest
imagine.
be in daylight in Cherrapunji. Even in daylight, let's say 12 in the afternoon, if it is raining, you can't spot people because it's fog everywhere. So ideally,
Yeah, because if it's so cloudy throughout the year,
throughout the year,
most of
yeah,
the
correct.
time.
It
So I
rains
can
anytime.
imagine
Yeah.
what the raining
Yeah.
just bursts on you.
Yeah. And if you're
Sounds
really
good.
interested in chasing monsoon, so I've done a trip with some really adventurous people chasing monsoon. The concept was let's chase the rain wherever it's going. So we are gone to Shillong,
Okay.
Cherrapunji, and just getting wet in the rain for 3-4 days, just driving around,
Wow.
stopping, getting wet. It was good fun, and you can see you can't see much, but you can experience and feel the rain heavy. That's an experience you get
Yeah.
with that.
Right. And like I said, I think it must be really different than the rain anywhere around because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cloud is like right on your head.
Right on your head. Yeah, yeah. Most of the time you're in the clouds. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Man, this seems like a place you must go, like must go. But great, yeah, sounds good. So I guess you have covered everything when it comes to both these places. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you want to add?
So more or less we have covered everything, but in case, oh yeah, one thing very interesting is Shillong is pretty good for music scene. Music is awesome. I think there is
Yes.
NH7 happens there, and you all should visit that. Pretty good
Right.
musicians have
Maybe
come out of
whenever
Shillong.
it
Yeah,
happens next
yeah.
in the
Wherever it
coming
happens, you all should
years.
check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So music scene
But
is pretty
yes,
good.
and
Yeah.
that is anyway pretty popular. Like Shillong, NH7, these
Yeah.
weekenders, these are pretty
Correct.
popular when it
Popular.
comes
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
East
Absolutely.
places. So yeah, which I believe already people know about, but I'm sure guys, you all have gained a lot of these, already have these visuals in your head by whatever Vincy's told us today. But if you are now, in the zone to plan your trips, I guess you must check out Vincy's social handles and, go to him, send him your queries or send us your queries, and we will structure, Vincy is going to
Yeah.
structure the trip for you.
Sure, I'll do
Yeah.
that. I'd love to do that. Yeah, anytime. So you all can catch me at, follow me at offbeatroadsindia.com. That's my Insta handle. You can email me at explore@offbeatroadsindia.com. So I'll be happy to help you guys.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much, Vincy. It was lovely
Thank you,
virtually
Ria.
going with you to
Yeah.
these places. We can only hope we have a real trip soon.
Pretty
I
soon.
say that every time
Yeah.
we meet.
Yeah, I think we should do one live trip next time when I'm traveling. We will do live trip from wherever I am. That will be more fun.
Yes,
Like
yes.
rather than sitting in
That'll
the
be
room and
really
doing
fun.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
guys. Thanks a lot.
Let's meet next weekend again.
Sure.
Same time. Thank you,
All right.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Catch you guys soon on Sunday, 5 p.m. every weekend. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.